everyone. It's been a hot minute. Yes, it has. Yes, it has. I'm double checking right now to make sure all my sounds are good. Music is a little quiet. I'm gonna turn that up just a smidgen. Okay, we'll turn that up just a smidgen. Okay, good, good, very good, very good. Okay, hi! I missed you guys. Life is, it goes, tee-hee, you made a schedule? How about no? That's what life did. I missed you guys so much. Congrats, Jade, on getting the first redeem. Congrats. Hi, Normie. Thank you for the lurks. I missed you guys. Been super busy with the work. Work had overtime approved. Long story short, I'm going to start the game and then yap in the background because ADHD wants me to multitask. Yes, new customer. Epic the Musical, which is now finished, Jade. I don't know if you were on the live stream when they, like, the first official complete listen to. I was there, though the chat was blowing up in that live stream like crazy. So, oh my gosh. You got a dog, Normie? Well, you can't say that and not show me pictures, so you legally have to show me pictures. You mentioned that too. So, just like, it's the law. You mentioned the dog, you have to show pictures. I'm sorry, I make the rules. It was pretty great. Ooh, that's loud. What? Computer noises. I just wanted to turn down the volume on the game so I could hear it. Oh, there's someone. A large. Where should I start? Oh my goodness. You might have seen me, for those of you who watch Foxy streams, I would pop in and just chat with her because the Ithaca Saga was super good. I love it. But I didn't have enough time to actually stream on my own, so that's why you might have seen me as a guest on her stream, but not actually streaming. Because it takes more to actually stream than to just show up on someone else's stream and be hi and all that stuff, you know. But I finished work today. I got an extra caffeinated drink right here, and I'm like, I'm gonna stream because I have time to stream. I'm not gonna let the EPs get to me. I'm just gonna stream because I miss chat. I don't care how tired I get. I'm just gonna like caffeine, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna survive. I'm gonna work through this. It's gonna be great. I'm gonna take this order and then I'll hand off the drink. Yes, a dog pic. The weenie dog! You have to put them in a hot dog costume for Halloween. I know it's cliche, but you have to. Come on. You have to. Okay. We got this. All right, so overtime was approved because we recently had someone leave the store. She was super sweet. I'm going to miss her. She was one of my favorite people at the store. And she left, but I'm guessing it was because life stuff gets in the way. And I'm just like, oh man, I liked her. Anyway, overtime got approved, so I've been working a lot because I have dentist stuff coming up. And for those of you who live in America, the healthcare system sucks. Even with insurance, it's still going to cost me like $3,000. And that's just for one thing that I need to get done. And it's like, oh my gosh. Okay, I say one thing, but I mean like one visit. They're going to do multiple things. But I'm trying to get through this yapping, but I guess I should slow down because I have all the time in the world. I don't work tomorrow. I have all the time in the world. I don't need to speed yap. I feel like I'm speed yapping. Anyway, I have to get a root canal done. Ugh. Actually, it's 2. But ugh. Anyway, I have that coming up, so I've been working overtime. Because overtime got approved, and overtime doesn't usually get approved. But then I also worked on Christmas, which is time and a half. Yay! Time and a half. Yay! But also we were the only store opened in the district, so everybody and their cousin was there. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Y'all should be at home on Christmas. Because we were like one of the only places open, so of course everyone was there. And we were just barely staffed enough. Like, just barely, like normal staff capacity, because it was volunteer based, and who the fuck wants to work on Christmas except for those of us who are broke, like me? Anyway, the store opened late. I didn't open, but I was one of the people that helped close. We closed early, so we were closing at 1, but we still had cafe orders that we had already taken, and drive-through orders that we had already taken, and we were just finished that, and we weren't taking any more orders. And then a lady comes in at like just a little past 1, the time we've already closed. And then, like, the manager, the, like, person who's calling the shots, they're not technically the manager, they're called the play caller, but technically they're, like, the manager on the floor at that moment. Anyway, he's like, oh, I'm so sorry, but we could. And then she's like, what do you mean? He was about to say, but we could just get you anyway because it was only a couple of minutes. But this girl was so fucking pissed that we were already closed that she just didn't let him finish. And we're just like, no, we're not going to make your drink because you're being rude. If she had just like not have been rude, we probably would have squeezed her in. But then she had to get all like, I don't know what went up her butt. It was Christmas, girl. You need to calm the down. And I was surprised because she was like around my age. And usually people around my age aren't complete asses. I mean, at least they're more understanding. Like most of the time when I have a rude customer, they're like 40s, 50s. Okay, more like 50s, 60s. I'll just say that. But still. And I'm like, girl, you need to calm down. Just because online says that we close at 1:30 doesn't mean we're going to close at 1:30. That's just for Starbucks that are open in general for today. But we're closing at 1 because we just can't handle it with the people that we have. Anyway, tips are usually spread out for the week. So it's like Tuesday to, or it's like, I don't know. I think it's Monday to Monday. I can't remember exactly, but it's for the week. And you get tips based on how many hours you worked. Except Christmas it was locked for the day. And so instead of it being shared for the whole week, it's just locked for the day. And oh my goodness, that thing was full at the end of the day. The cash tips, and I can't even imagine what the digital tips are going to look like. So that's going to be good. It's going to help a lot. So I got time and a half, and then I got tips, and it's going to be good. It's going to be good. I think it also gets a cherry. We did that one based on memory. I've gotten a lot better at this game, or at least remembering the specials in this game. I think it has to do with having to memorize new seasonal drinks quickly because they don't really warn us, like, at all with the new seasonal drinks. They're just like, tee-hee, they're out. What the? Hang on. Why did my thing do that? Ah, my stream deck, stop. Fuck. Okay, I'm unplugging my stream deck and replugging it back in because it kept flickering. Okay, you guys, I don't know if you guys can hear it. You probably can't hear it, but my computer was making the Windows sound, so it was like doo-doo-doo, 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 doo-doo-doo. Okay, it should be good now. But it was really funny when I was at that Christmas store. I'm not going to use any real names or anything. But when we were at that store, because it wasn't actually my store, it was a different store. My store was closed. I was the only person who volunteered at my store. But I went to the second store and they were like, oh, you guys have so-and-so. And I'm like, yeah, we have so-and-so. And then like they made this face because it's the one person we don't like at the store. And then later we were joking around when we were closing, like, haha, I'll trade so-and-so who was like on the floor. They're like buddies for someone from your store. And I'm like, how about so-and-so? And they're like, never mind. And I'm like, yep. It's really rare to find something you don't like working at Starbucks, but there's just one person that like collectively they've been to a couple stores and people just don't like them. Which sucks for them because it's really hard to not like people working there. Hi, Deltora. How do I get there? I have to get my guide there. No, I have to get over here. So if I go over here. Wait. So if I... Wait. Okay, so coming from the right is really the only way I can get there because there's no way I can stop there. So I'm going to have to stop here. So I can't really get here from anywhere except for down. So I'll have to come from here. And so that'll take me left. But how do I stop here? No, that won't work. Wait. Beta polities, yeah. Full speed ahead. How do I... Wait. So, if the star... Gotta get to the star. I'm a star. Wait, no. If I'm already there, then it would have to be... Nope, that doesn't work. Okay, so... But then how do I stop there? I'm going to go over here. Start with. Oh, I see it. we go. Stop it. Oh, that's actually a really cute jacket. I've heard that. Sorry. You guys got to hear my thinkings. This life is amazing when you greet it with open arms. Whatever you say. Wait. Wait. Wee! That's what my thoughts sound like when I'm doing stuff like that. You can tell when I actually need to use my brain because I stop yapping. How the okay, so there's only one way I... Oh, wait, no, I could... So if I go... How do I get here? No. So I'm going to have to come from the left. So, wait, no, I can't do that. I'm going to have to... What? Okay, I can't go right because that'll kill me. And I can't go left, that'll kill me. So if I go up... If I go up and then boom, 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 boom. There we go. Yeah, and then he gets stabbed. I'm gonna drink some coffee. Coffee. Oh wait, I went the wrong way! That's what happens when you don't think through and you start doing stuff immediately. Oh wait. I can go this way. There we go. Oh, thank you. Get sir for the stretch and posture check. You has coffee of ice? I also have coffee of ice. It's technically a chai. Oh, it's fizzy. Why does my seasonal stuff go down? It's literally of the season, and it's purple. I like purple. Makes me think of my wife, my platonic wife. Boop. Boop. Yay! Paid it. I got paid today, too. Hi. All right. Let's see. Work. There's the Karen lady working overtime. Yesterday, Pixie had Foxy on stream yesterday. I was not able. Wait, was I able to? No. Anyway, yesterday I got stabbed. That's right. I got stabbed at work by the metal fridge. You want to know what the metal fridge did to your girl, your dear? It gave me... No, neither of those was good. It gave me a metal splinter because I had to pull out the fridge. I was helping someone pull out the fridge because we have to sweep behind the fridges, right? And she's just a little thing. And I'm strong. I got strong. I'm strong. Anyway, I was pulling out the fridge and it gave me a metal splinter. I'm like, what the fuck? So I had to go in the back. Someone else was taking over what I was doing while I was getting a metal splinter out of my hand. Yeah, that's right. Luckily, there was a safety pin in the first aid kit, which was not organized at all, by the way. And so I was able to get it out. It was so tiny, but it fucking hurt. I was able to get it out. I put some antiseptic on it, slapped a Band-Aid on, went back to work. And then this morning I slapped some more iodine on it and a Band-Aid and all that stuff. And I'm just like, it's still sore. And I'm like, I hope I got it all out. I think I did. I'm almost certain I did. It's probably just sore because I was trying to get it out with my nails at first because I was like trying to like pinch it out, but it was just so tiny. And then I stabbed it with a safety pin to get it out. So it's probably not very happy with me. But it's not looking infected or anything. It's kind of sore. Because I got stabbed by a fridge. I got a tetanus shot 2 years ago. You guys want to hear my tetanus shot story about why I needed one? Because I'm a silly little goofy goober. Okay, I'm gonna pause. I'm gonna have to pause to. Okay. So imagine this little square thing is a auditorium. And then this is the stage that today's wait, you guys can't see that. Okay, I'm gonna use the rank. So, right? Can you see my mouse? Wait, hang on. I need something where you guys can see my mouse. No! I need something with a darker color so y'all can see me. Okay, so basically I'll just use this anyway, move my head out of the way. So you got the auditorium, chairs, blah, blah, blah. There's 3 rows of chairs. So there's the right row, and then there's the middle row, and then there's the left row, and there are walkways in between each row. And then you have the stage up here. So we were going to play spotlight tag. And so we all started on top of the stage, and then there's a staircase that like curves out this way and curves out this way. This is important. That are metal. This is important. And so the one kid who's it for spotlight tag, he goes to the spotlight, which is on the other side of the auditorium. The goal is to get off the stage to the spotlight, tag, and back without getting spotted by the spotlight. And so everyone goes. The lights are out. The spotlight's on. He has it on the red filter. Also important. He has it on the red filter. So I drop down and I get down to crawl because I'm like, he won't be able to see me if I'm crawling. So I drop down and I go whoosh head. I go whoosh, whoosh, whoosh immediately to like this way. I forget about the metal staircase that curves and I go bonk. I go what? I go head first into the staircase crawling because I can crawl fast. I'm fast as fuck, boy. Anyway. This was the day after I got my glasses, and I was like, oh no, my glasses! So I stand up, and I'm like, okay, my glasses are fine, and then I put my head to my hand, and I'm like, huh? And I put my hand to my head again, I'm like, is my head wet? And then I put my hand to my head, and the kid who had the spotlight whips it around to me, and then I'm looking at my hand that has blood on it, and there's a red filter of the spotlight, I'm like, I'm bleeding! And so I put my left hand to my head, because it was originally my right hand, because I'm right-handed, and I try to like, against my head to try to like stop the bleeding. I'm like, I'm bleeding. My body's going in shock, and I go up and around the stairs that I just walked myself into, trying to get to the teacher. And my brain's not thinking. I'm just like, I'm bleeding. I get to the teacher. He's like, what's going on? I'm like, I'm bleeding. He's like, what? And then I remove my hand from my head. I'm like, I'm bleeding. He's like, put your hand back. I'm like, okay. And then he walks me to the nurse's office, and she's like, what's going on? And then I like remove my hand again. I'm like, I'm bleeding. She's like, ah! And then she wraps my head super, super, super tight with like that bandage gauze thing, like really tight around my head. It actually started to give me a headache. But my mom was working, but she couldn't just leave because she worked at a daycare and she was the only one there. And you can't just have anyone cover for your daycare job because they have to be licensed. And so my neighbor, who was Asian, this is important, she's my Asian mama. Anyway, she had to take me to the ER, but the ER said go to this place, and then that place was like, you need to go to a different place, and she was like, the ER sent us here, so you're gonna fix her head. Asian women are scary, even though they're tiny. She was like a skinny little tiny Asian woman. Anyway, they wanted to give me stitches. They said it would give me less scar, and I was like, fuck that, I don't like needles, give me the glue. They're like, it could scar more. I'm like, I don't care, because I also know for a fact that stitches tend to scar more, and I also know that stitching is more expensive, but there was no way I was gonna let them stitch my head. There's no way I can do that. And so they glued my head, it was fine, blah, blah, blah. There's not even a mark now, but I also got a tetanus shot because it was a metal staircase and I happened to crawl at the exact position for my forehead to align with the outside of a screw. So I got a tetanus shot. So I'm fine, even though I got a splinter from my fridge. Story time with the deer. Any questions? Exactly, Jade. I can't believe they tried to lie to me when I was like 18. Okay, it wasn't 2 years ago, but it was a couple years ago. They tried to lie to me saying that stitches would scar less, but no, stitches statistically scar more. Oh, he has a special. Give me the special, you little bitch. This is going to be such a good drink. Did I set the clinic on fire afterwards? No. I did do I didn't even need a follow-up or anything. They're like, give us a follow-up if like it doesn't look like it's healing right, but it healed just fine, and there's not even a mark now. There's not a scar or anything. You can't even tell where it was. So the glue was definitely the way to go. It healed up really nicely. Everything is hunky-dory and all that stuff. And it's a really fun story to tell. Wait, why did you get a tetanus shot? I crawled into a staircase. What? And then I tell the whole story. Because everyone always asks what after you say you crawled into a staircase. To survive. Give me the treat. Committing arson. I've never committed arson. There we go. I don't know, it's just not as fun. There we go. And besides, arson's really dangerous. People could get hurt, all that stuff, blah, blah, blah. I do have an arson command, but that's because you guys are the arsonists. Exactly, Jade. Exactly. Why would I let them see the little things? Oh, I forgot that he gave me a special. Oh, it's a closer. Hi, little closer. Oh, that's right. I was going to work on stickers. I completely forgot. All right, there's that. There's that. Get that to the middle. Put that over there. I hope that I'm going to be getting back to a normal schedule once the holidays are over. My next day off, though, I'm not going to be able to stream, even though I have nothing planned for like the entire afternoon, because that's when I'm going to the dentist. And so they're going to be numbing my mouth. And so I won't be able to speak. Well, I mean, I could, but I really shouldn't. So, hi, Linkster. So my next day off, I won't really be able to stream. So that's why I also like extra wanted to stream today. I was like, I have the time. I'm good. I actually slept extra long last night, even though I'm still a little tired. I feel like I was getting close to burnout, so it's good that I went to bed early yesterday. But yeah. Did I say hi, Link? I feel like I did say it, but I might not have said it, and I might have just thought it. Well, hi, hello, if I did not say it. Boop. 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 Okay, I'm gonna drink some more caffeine. Delicious. Skip. What is the mini game? Bum, ba-da-dum.
Treat to dear Sylvia 36.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for the sub. Has it really? 25 months. That's insane. You're insane, Doltera. Hi, Sheepy. Hi. Oh my gosh. You guys are crazy. Customer cravings. Oh, fuck. I think she got this. She looks like the type of person that would get this. Nope. Okay. Well, at least I got one of them. You used to love this game? I do love this. Wait, it's the same people? So she got this and they get that. Renegade, everyone's coming. Hi! This game's fun. And then Voxy was super sweet and also gifted me the Papa's Pizzeria. Wait, she gets the banana one. There we go. In the school computer? Yeah, lol. I would play the math games because technically they wouldn't get too mad. I know that she gets the mint for sure because I judge her every time she gets it with marshmallow. Like, I like mint and I like marshmallow, but like, I don't think marshmallows belong blended in. I think they belong on the top. I got them all wrong. Are you kidding me? Ooh. hurt you. All right, so that one's all stars. Let's go top to bottom. So I'm going to do the banana one first. All right. There we go. Lovely. I was going to say something. And then I forgot. Also, don't forget Budling's there. I made sure that she worked, but she might take a second to wake up since she hasn't talked in a hot minute now. Oh, look, you can see the sign outside the store. It's really tiny. You guys can barely see it, but it's there. Finish it. No. A medium. Evelyn. Hi, Evelyn. All right, we got this. I have ADHD. If I don't say it immediately, it's gone. It just goes, woo, it's gone, and it goes, woo, and it's like, I'm not coming back. Oh, I was going to tell you guys about my dream. Okay, so I told Foxy's chat about one of my dreams one time. You guys want to hear about my dream last night? It's kind of cool. It's kind of interesting. Okay, so the dream, so the dream starts off with me and some friends, and the friends are fucking about with like a book of magic and summoning and blah 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 blah, right? And I'm just like, in the dream I'm like, this is so dumb, magic's not real and all that stuff, right? But I'm just like, I'm there, I'm kind of helping out, and then they have their ingredients and stuff, and then I realize that like, oh, this thing is not supposed to be here. And so I pick up one of the ingredients that they're like using to make like the pattern of the summoning circle. Like they're mixing a bunch of stuff together to like make the paint. And so I pick something up and I don't really quite know what it is. It's something dark colored, grayish, I would say. And then in the dream it like wraps itself around my arm and then like disappears into my skin. This is important, but it's fucking weird as shit, right? And I'm just like, oh, I'm going crazy. I'm having hallucinations again. And then it's revealed in the dream, oh, yeah, this type of stuff happens to me often. And that's why I think the magic is so stupid, was because when I was younger, I thought magic was real, but like, obviously, I was just crazy, right? Anyway, they put the rest of the stuff together, and then they tried to do the thing for the summoning thing. Holy shit, it actually works. What? Even though I removed something, it's fine. Because it wasn't something that we had put there, it was something different. And I'm actually, at the time, we're like, I don't know how this got here. And we're like, oh shit. So it's like this, it's kind of like, it's 2.5 stories tall, and it's kind of like a mix between, it looks like Godzilla and a mech. It's a mix of that, if that makes sense. So it's not quite Godzilla, but it's not also like, it's not quite a mech, I hope that makes sense. But it's like a fleshling, so it's not like it's made out of robot bits. It just kind of like has the stylistic look, because it's like, it has like scales. Yeah, that makes sense. Anyway, we're all freaking out. I get in the car because I am the only person who's thinking, because the other two people who were doing the summoning circle were boys, obviously. Because, I don't know. I don't know why that's obvious. Okay, anyway. One of them, when I swoop around with the car, gets into the car. The other one gets sprang. He gets sprang. He gets stepped on. He's dead. And so I drive off in my dinky little car at full speed. I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't know my car could go this fast. And this thing is at first chasing us, and then we're like able to just barely get away. I'm like, oh my goodness, I can't believe that just happened. I'm like, we doomed the world. We unleashed a monster. Everyone is screwed, right? Because that's basically what we did. And so like, I'm like, we have to figure out how to make this thing go away. And I'm like, okay, I'm looking on my phone, I'm looking online. I'm like, we're going to need the book that we needed, which we left where we summoned it because we were panicking to get away. And I'm like, I really don't want to backtrack. And then I'm like, as I'm looking, there's on my phone to try to see if I can figure it out. right? There's like a warning that pops up on my phone. I'm like, a warning thing. And I'm like, oh shit. And it's already on the news. The thing is already destroying shit, right? Because obviously it's a monster. It's going to destroy shit. And I'm like, oh my goodness, we have to go back, but it's going to be dangerously close to where we summoned it, and it's like not going to be safe. And then my friend's like, why the fuck should we go back? I don't know his name. Oh, Atticus. His name is Atticus. I don't know why his name is Atticus, but that was his name in the story. I only know this because I was later talking about him to someone else when we got separated later. But like intentionally. But anyway, Atticus is like, I don't think we should go back. We should just look for a different book somewhere else. And I'm like, how are we going to guarantee that we're even going to find this book? We have to go back. And so we're trying to go back, but also trying to like go like the long way around to try not to get the attention of this thing as it like is fucking shit up. And so I'm like, okay, I got the book thing. And I'm like, sweet, it's great. And then also, my friend was like, because like we did it in our house basement thing, but like obviously the house got destroyed when the thing was summoned. And then my friend is like, grab this. This is probably influenced by Epic the Odyssey, but he grabbed a harpoon because apparently his dad would go fishing on the docks or whatever. Anyway. And I'm like, okay, sweet, but I don't know if a harpoon is actually going to like break his skin, right? Because it's this giant magical monster beast. So he hands me the harpoon as he's flipping through the book. I don't know why he handed me the harpoon. I'm just like, oh, okay, whatever. And as he handed it to me, I cut my hand on it and I'm like, oh, fuck. Because he didn't hand it to me correctly, you know? And so my hand got cut on it and I'm just like, fix a cut. And I got the harpoon and the harpoon has my blood on it. Important. Anyway, we go just in case to have the harpoon, which was good because that thing actually did end up in like coming to us. And we're like, why did it like turn around and come to us? It was going the other way, but it started heading towards us for some reason. And then I'm driving, trying to go fast as fuck. And then as I'm driving away, there's a friend whose name is like Lily or something. I'm not quite sure, but yeah, there's that. And I'm just like, okay, we got to grab her because like she's on foot running away as we're trying to drive away from this thing in a dinky little car. So she gets in the car and then I still have the harpoon. I'm not the one driving at this point. Atticus is. And we hop out and we start going up this really tall building for some reason. I'm not really sure why. It's like a skyscraper type thing. We're just like trying to get away. And like at first I'm like, okay, obviously it's going to chase the car, right? Because like the car's the obvious thing. And Atticus is like, he's got this, right? And he starts like driving away while we're trying to get away. While I think, I don't have the book. I think Atticus had the book. He took the book with him. And was it Lily? I think her name was Lily. Anyway, we're going up the building. We realize that the monster is not going after the very obvious car. It's going after us. It's climbing the fucking building. And like, we've gotten to the top of the building, but this thing's climbing. And we're like, oh my gosh, we can't go back down because like it's just going to start destroying the building. And I'm like, this is going to sound insane. But at this point, I'm pretty sure I have magic. She's like, what do you mean you have magic? I'm like, please just trust me and jump off the building with me. She's like, what? I'm like, please, 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 please. I've done this once before when I was a kid. She's like, what do you mean once before when you were a kid? Anyway, I'm like, trust me. She's like, fine. But if we die, I'm like, we're going to die either way if we don't jump. She's like, you're right. And so we're going to jump off this building. So I grab her hand and I jump off the building and I start to have like this, what the fuck?
_Kiwi. You're very delightful. Let's
Hi,
play some good vibes
Kiwi.
together.
Hi, Kiwi. Anyway, we jump off the building. For those of you who've seen Infinity Nikki, I'm like, I have a floating ability. And I start to float, but obviously she's like weighing me down a little bit because I'm just better at floating by myself. And we end up like, the skyscraper was next to like a river. Like a big river. It was like a wide, deep river. Anyway, we end up like going into the water. And the monster like saw this. We're fine, obviously, because water saves your life, obviously. Anyway, the monster like starts heading towards the water. I'm like, we gotta swim. And she's like, well, I'm just like, I kind of gesture it. I'm like, I look at her and I'm like, because we're under the water. And so like we're swimming away and I notice like this little like blue glowing thing and it like does a little wiggle thing. And I'm like, I start going towards it, and then it like starts going away, and it's like guiding me through like the water underground, because there's like rocks and stuff, and they're like guiding me, and then like all of a sudden the monster's foot is in the water, and he like guides me around it, and I'm like, oh my goodness. And then we get into like this like slight underwater cave like thing, and we're like get our heads up, and I'm like, oh my gosh, awesome. Oh, I forgot to mention that when we were on the top of the building, I threw the harpoon at it and it made the thingy bleed. Okay, that was important. I'm sorry. Anyway, we're in this cave, we're above the water, this little glowing thing. 2-minute delay. Oh, no. Budling had to wake up. She's always asleep. Budling is not immediate. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. So we get in the cave, the little glowing thing like goes up and through the ceiling. I'm like, okay, I'm definitely not crazy. And my friend Liz like, how did you know where to go? I'm like, I followed the fairy. She's like, what fairy? I'm like, you didn't see the fairy? She's like, no, only I can see the stuff. That's why I thought I was crazy at the beginning of the dream. Anyway, then this other person who looks human, but I can tell, like I can sense it. I'm like, they're not human, but they also have a sword. And they're like, we kind of know it was you guys. We know whose house where the thing summoned because we've already done research. We've been keeping an eye on this thing because apparently there's a cult that's been trying to revive this creature. And I'm like, what do you mean there's a cult that's trying to revive this creature? And he thinks that we're a part of the cult because we summoned it, but we were just kids fucking about, right? And I'm just like, no, we're not a part of a cult.
Hi there, Falsa_Esperanza. You're as refreshing as a morning dewdrop. Let's flourish.
And hi. Budling just takes a minute. And so I'm like, we're not a part of a cult. My adoptive mom, important, just gave us this book because they know that Atticus liked magic and I wanted, and all that stuff. She always thought that I liked it too because I had all these crazy stories, but, I thought magic wasn't real, but apparently it is real. He's like, of course it's real. And I know you're a part of the cult. I'm like, we're not a part of the cult. Anyway, we go, he has like guards and stuff in this underwater like cave thing, and we're like going to be put on trial, and I'm just like, oh my god, this is insane. And then like the head guy, who kind of looks like a mixture of a fox person, but he doesn't have ears, he just looks like if a fox was a human. He's not like a fox human hybrid, he's just like if a fox was human personified. Very elegant also though. You're good. And then he's like, how did you hurt the beast? I'm like, what do you mean? How did I hurt it? I just threw a harpoon at it, which was covered in my blood earlier, which is important. Anyway, and it was like, no, that thing has basically impenetrable scales. And even if you do hit it, it heals almost automatically because of one of the ingredients that you use in the summoning circle is supposed to give it slight time abilities. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? Slight time abilities. And I'm like, and then I think back to like when we almost got stepped on, I felt like time was going slightly differently when I was following the fairy. And I was like, no, that's crazy. As if a bunch of crazy stuff wasn't already happening. And it's like, yeah, it hasn't healed. It's bleeding. What did you guys do? It's like, are you guys a part of the cult or not? And I'm like, I still have no idea what this cult is. And they're like, well, how did you get the book in the first place? I'm like, my adoptive mother. And I'm like, wait, how did my adoptive mother get this book? Because my whole life she told me I didn't have magic's stupid. Don't try to indulge in all that stuff. Like, don't be crazy. Don't act like a crazy person. You don't have magic. But then she has this magic book. And she was always very anti-magic. And I was like, that's weird. And so I tell them this. I'm like, no, it was my adoptive mother. I don't know what you're talking about. I was always told that magic wasn't real. And all that stuff. And apparently this guy who kind of looks like a fox, he has really sharp eyes, magic eyes, and he can tell when someone's telling the truth. So he's like, okay, they're not a part of the cult. And I'm like, we need to get our friend Atticus. He has the book. And I'm like, obviously, and they're like, okay, well, where is he going? The monster is following you guys for some reason. I'm like, I don't know why the monster's following me. And then I realized in my head that one of the ingredients that I removed, because it wasn't necessarily mentioned in the book, but it was in our ingredient pile, I remembered picking it up. I'm like, maybe I'm not crazy. Maybe something really did absorb itself into me. And I'm like, is it following me because it can sense the missing ingredient? But I'm like, that ingredient wasn't in the book. It was just in the pile originally, but it obviously was magic. And I'm like, I don't know what's going on. And then before, as we're going to leave, because I'm like, I got to get to Atticus. Atticus he's my boy. We got to get to him. We're going to solve this together. I can't do it without him. I can't do it without the book. And then apparently other guards have my adopted mother. She's coming into the room. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? She was a part of the cult. And I'm just like, are you kidding me? And apparently she wasn't actually my adopted mother. She kidnapped me. And I'm like, you always told me I didn't have magic. And she's like, yeah, of course I didn't want you to practice your magic because you're one of the warriors who can fight this thing. I'm like, ah! But she wanted me to be a part of the summoning for it so that people would target me and think that I was a part of the cult, and so they would try to kill me on sight. But unfortunately, I ended up at the right place at the right time for the guy who can tell if people are lying or not to actually ask me the question and figure out if I was actually a part of the cult or not. Which didn't go to her plan. And she's like, I still don't know how, even though you're able to hurt it, he's not healing. Thank you for the blink reminder. And I'm like, why would he be healing? And it was just like, and she says that I made sure to have the extra ingredient in your pile when you guys were going to do it. And I was like, oh, this gray thing? She's like, yeah. And I'm like, I took that out. She's like, what? I'm like, oh my gosh, I took out the thing that would make it be able to basically reverse its injuries. And so we can kill it. Because I did that. And then I'm thinking, I didn't tell them it absorbed into me. And I'm thinking, I'm like, could I now use this ability? And I'm like, oh my goodness, I know exactly what to do. And then I wake up because my alarm went off and I'm like, fuck. And that was my dream last night. Oh, I missed too many. I said a bad word at work today, and you're not supposed to at Starbucks because it's supposed to be inclusive. This one's hard. It truly sounded like a movie. It does. Sometimes my dreams just hit different. I don't like this mini game. But yeah, it was a cool dream, and I hope I can continue it. Because sometimes I can continue dreams, but not all the time. Because I really want to know what happens next. I mean, I could come up with my own ending, but I'm just like, I want to know what happens next from my brain. Maybe I'll incorporate something like that into my lore worlds. I'm still working on it, still writing on it. It takes a lot of work because I've redone the magic system so many times, and I feel like I want to redo it slightly again or like add to it or something because I just can't quite do everything that I want to be able to do in the story. Lessness is mercy. Die. Captain. 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 Fucking love Epic the Musical. This is so great. Meow, 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 meow. Akira! Oh, I got it perfect! Oh my gosh, what timing for the sub for me to get it perfect. That's crazy. Is the music loud enough, guys? Can you hear it? Do I need to turn it up? I just realized that it looked a little low, but I don't know if it's too low, if you guys can hear it, or if it's at a good volume. You guys will have to let me know. Boop. And banan. Boop. Hello, Akira. Thank you so much. How are you? I hope you're doing good. It's been a while since I streamed. I'm going to try to get back into streaming regularly. I feel like... Wait, does it get chocolate? Yes, it gets chocolate. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. And then it gets the banan. Banan. It's maybe a little low. Okay, I'm gonna turn it up a little bit. I missed you guys too. I'm hoping that things go a little bit nicer now. My hand still kind of hurts from the metal splinter, but I double checked it today. There's nothing left in it. It's just sore and red from where I poked it. And poked it and poked it and I poked it for a good 5 minutes before I was looking into the first aid kit. Before I looked in the first aid kit. Metal splinter? You did miss a story. I was moving a fridge at work to try to sweep under it, and it gave me a metal splinter. Because it, like, scrapes, when you push it back in, it, like, scrapes against, like, the metal cabinet. And so it kind of gets, like, torn at the back part of it. And I grabbed that part, and the metal splinter just went, like, straight into my hand. And it was tiny. It was tiny. It was nearly impossible to get out, and it fucking hurt. You actually missed a lot of stories. I told that story. I told a Karen story about Christmas. I just told a story about my dream. Lots of stories going on today. That's what happens when you don't stream enough. I'm just like, I got so much yapping to catch up on. That's why I feel like I gotta speed run all these stories. I'm like, I have to get through it all. I'm like, gotta go fast, gotta yap. A woman. What? Had us in just 2 words. Come inside. I love this song because a lot of the, like, Epic the musical community has joked that, like, Eurylykiss is, like, doing this woman voice perfectly. It's kind of funny. Take a seat. I want to do a karaoke stream one day, but I need to mess with my microphone settings to try to get a good reverb. If it was just one that wasn't an awesome, I would have been fine with it, but they were both not awesome, so I wanted to redo it. Yeah, I got burps on the brain. I got all the power, yeah. Whee! Oh, wait. Burp next door. The Gion Isekai. Exactly. The Gion Isekai. Weeum. Weeum. Gion and Blue are great. Oh, I need to thank them for the Christmas gifts. The Christmas gifts that they got me were just perfect. I didn't even know I wanted them. And they got it for me, and I was like, oh my gosh, I did want these. And they were just perfect. I remember thinking about them both on separate occasions. I just had forgotten it. Like, it wasn't on my top priority list because they're kind of just, like, nice things to have. So I got these really pretty pink hexagonal glass cups. And I was like, oh my gosh, I've been wanting to get glass cups because all I have is plastic right now. And I was like, this is perfect. And then there was a pink wall clock. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is perfect. I've been wanting, like, a wall clock. Like, just in general to, like, I wasn't really sure where I wanted to put it, but I was wanting one. Because I felt like it would be nice to have. But I was just like, they're, like, they know what I need without even me knowing what I want. Like, I had thought about it a while ago, but then forgotten. They're great. I need to make sure I thank them because I keep forgetting because of my ADHD. But I've said it. I've told you guys. You guys know I have full intent to thank them. Even if I forget again. I really hope I don't. Alright, I got sent a dog picture earlier and I haven't been able to look at it yet. Oh, look at that little puppy. Sweet. Ugh. Blink, 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 blink. Send a message. Oh, Chili Works! I love this one. Do you like the feels more than words? Is it? Wait. Wait. Oh, oh! What? Ah! I clicked off the game, so now I actually have time to look. What is going on here? I can't do it. I don't have enough time. Smells epic, Saga fan. Hi. Hi. Wait. That can't be right. I'm not done yet! Oh my goodness. This one's hard to get it all done in time. Thank you so much for the follow! I did it! I did it! I think. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Legend, wait for it, Derry. Ah! Yes! Yes! How I Met Your Mother! I think this is all complete. This might be cheating on, like, clicking off of it, but I don't care. You don't get enough time to do it. How are you? How are you guys? I hope you are having a fantastic and amazing... Holy... hang on. And then... Yeah, there we go. I did it! I do like puzzles like that, I just don't like being timed. I don't like being timed at all. What? Oh, I got new things. I don't have enough room! What do you mean I don't have enough room? What if I clear everything? Can I just remove all? Okay, good. And then I guess I'll do stuff that actually looks good. We'll do bubblegum. More bubblegum. Okay, that doesn't fit. That's fine. Okie dokie. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. Boop. We got this. 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 Wait, what? Customers? Oh, I got a present! I got a present! Oh. I like her better with the hat, I think. Eh. Yeah, I like her better with the hat. Alright, how do I get this one? The 4 Sundays on blenders at the end of the day? Oh, I can do that. That's easy. That's so easy. We got this. I'm gonna get all the stickers. He wants his chunky, which is a little bit weird. This is just gonna be like a throwaway one. Oh wait, is it gonna be loud? Like the whole day? It's fine. It's fine. No, this thing is gonna have its alarm go off. Or maybe I'll wait until I get the closer to do this, actually, because I don't want to have to listen to the blenders all day long, you know? That would just be too much. I think I'm going to turn down the music just a touch. Just a touch. All right, Oreos and I don't remember what the word is for that, but it's like the 3-tier scoop ice cream. You also want yours chunky? Interesting. Yum 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 yum. Just a man. I forgot. I'm forgetting to do something, but I don't remember what it is. It was something I was supposed to do before stream. Oh well. Oh well. I can only do so much as a little deer. I'll probably remember it after stream and then be like, oh. Well, oh well. Ah, it's beeping. Banana. Yay. Banana. Boop. Boop. You know, I want to work on lore on stream. However, the problem I come across is that sometimes I do something and then I decide, no, I don't want it like that. And then I change it. And so I feel like it would become confusing to you guys when I change my mind on stuff. Like, I've reworked the magic system of my world 4 times, and so I feel like that would be a lot. Lot to keep straight. Problem is that Prophet is dead. Oh, whelps. They're dead. Though with changing the magic system, I've had to change, like, literally everything else as well, because I've integrated it with life itself, and so it's very complicated. I got a very complicated world. No one said world building was easy, and if they do, they clearly haven't done it. At least not properly. There we go. If you don't spend at least a year on your world, is it really a fully developed world? Because what I'm doing with my world, I'll give you guys a rundown. Magic system. Sweet. Unique gods, unique creatures, unique cultures. The cultures need customs. And all of that stuff. It's just, it's not just that, but I've made a map. I need to redo the map a little bit, I think. I need to get advice from the internet about people who know how land works. How land works? What do you mean, Sylvia? Well, obviously I have mountains in this world, and so I need to know how environments can differ on mountains. And one time I saw a post that was talking about rain shadows, and I don't know what the fuck a rain shadow is. So I need to do research on that and fix my world. And so that means I can't actually develop the countries and the cultures until I have the world map fixed, because I need to, figure all that stuff out. And I'm just like, hey, oh wait, I already put the syrup on. Let's not do double syrup. Token worked on his, yeah, exactly. And I'm just like, I would love to take you guys for the ride, but I'm worried that it would hurt your little heads because it hurts my head. Ooh, red velvet. That's fun. Oh, it's a closer. Okay. Rain shadow is an isolated place where due to geologic rain rarely or never falls. Oh, kind of like where I used to live. Because we were on the other side of the mountains. And so if you went over the mountains, you had Portland, which everyone knows that it always fucking rains in Portland, Oregon. Where I lived, it never fucking rained. So it was dry all the time, and the air hurt. But yeah, I need to do research on that because I don't know what any of that stuff is, So I need to do research. Because I totally have done it weird. It's definitely not built how a world should be built. And so while, yes, it's a fantasy world, and while, yes, I could just be like, tee magic, I don't want to do that. It has to be good. I don't want to hurt people when they're reading my book. Like, I did mock trial when I was in high school. And so now whenever I watch a lawyer show, I'm like, that's wrong. That's wrong. You can't object to that. And I'm like, why aren't they objecting to that? Because they don't know what they're doing. And I'm just like, this hurts. I can't watch this. It physically is hurting me to watch this because they're doing it all wrong. You're right. I should get a glasses toggle from Blue and Burb. You know? Why did I do a large? I don't want a large. I just want it to be fast. I just need to have 4 on the blenders at the end of the day. That's all I need. It doesn't need to be good. They just have to be blending. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, 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 boop. But I don't know. Maybe I'll do research for the, because like if I'm building the world map itself, I could do that on stream and then like we could look at the world map because I have the shape of the world. The shape of the world is not changing. Do you know how long it took me to get the shape of the world to actually look somewhat decent? Oh, I got an achievement. Blend till the end. All the stickers I get achievements for apparently. The Raceway, I hate this one. This one's frustrating. Meow, 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 meow. I need to make sure I get all the coins and that they don't because it makes me go fast. Oh no, I'm going all around. Ah, I'm missing coins. Ah! Ah! I love how he said that as I'm screaming. Oh, I did it. I gotta get all the way to the end for the stars for these games for an achievement, I'm pretty sure. Ah! They're trapping me! They're trying to trap me. How dare. I can't read that right now. I'll have to read it after the race. Oh, I missed the thing. I missed the thing! Someone's gonna catch up with me. Please don't. Please don't. No, don't let them. Don't let them. Don't let them catch up with. Yes, I win. Okay. Just remember when we forgot your world mountains are formed either by volcanic activity or tectonic plates playing chicken with each other. Oh, I am gonna have to remember that. I totally forgot about volcanoes entirely as a whole. I can't believe I did that. That would make such an interesting place. I can't believe I forgot about volcanoes. Oh my god. I forgot volcanoes were a thing. You see, this is why you need to do research. Yeah, I should do this. I should do the world building research on stream because then people remind me about basic shit. And if it's tectonic plates playing chicken with each other, they'll probably have earthquakes. I would wear this jacket so hard IRL. Oh my god, I love those colors. That's so cute. I love it. Oh, I should look at stickers and see if there's another one I can do today. Present! He can get a new outfit. In different color. Oh! Is his outfit just... He looks better without the hat. Name. I don't have everything available for that sticker. I don't have everything available for that sticker. Receive your age on 4. Okay, that's just playing the game. A chocolate Creamio special. 250 coins. Okay, that one is just those. That's gonna happen. I don't want to work on that one right now. 8 posters from the shop. Okay. Okay. We're not working on the chocolate Creamio. This unlock all standard shakers. Shakers? Standard placeable toppings. When he arrives immediately. He? Oh, Kahuna's. Who the fuck is Kahuna? Is this Kahuna? Ah, okay, so I gotta have his order ready. I think I need to do that with all the closers, actually. So the next closer, I'm gonna make them wait in the lobby, and then I'm gonna make their drink, and then I'm gonna immediately give it to them. Yeah. That's what I'm gonna do. Because you can see what their regular orders are on the screen. Yep. Meow. We got this. But yeah, I should do the world, the physical world, with chat's help. Because I'm just a deer and I am just a little guy. I am just a little guy who is not afraid to get help. Which is a big... I used to be really bad at getting help for stuff. That's not my fault, though. That's a series of events that happened in my life. But anyway, I'm a lot better about getting help now. Yay! Character development. I already went through my trauma in my story, hopefully. Totally forgot that's how mountains were formed. I just kind of placed them where I thought they would look cool, but obviously the mountains are not moving. The only thing I'm going to be changing are the biomes and like the weather and stuff. But if I know how the mountains formed, it'll change other stuff. Because like there's one area where I'm like, no, those can't be volcanoes, so they'll have to be the tectonic plate thingies. So, there's that. It is banana, right? Yeah. Boop. Boop, 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 boop. Volcanic activity, does that have to be in a warm place? Or can you have... Well, it's a magical place, so I could have cold volcanoes where it's like liquid nitrogen, but a volcano. And so instead of burning everything, I mean, it still will burn everything, but it'll be a cold type of burning instead. Ooh. Ooh. Now I'm coming up with really cool ideas to make the world even cooler. Oh, Iceland is not actually ice. That much I do know. It does not need to be warm. Well, now I'm coming up with ice volcanoes, and you can't stop me because magic. Iceland is green and Greenland is ice. The Vikings did it to try to fuck with people, and it looks like they just fucked with you centuries later. Iceland is actually warm. It's green plains and whatnot. I mean, I wouldn't say warm, but you know, I actually don't know. I'd have to look it up. But I do know that Iceland does not have ice and Greenland has ice. The Vikings are fucking with you. Successfully. Oh, it's at 5 stars. Oh, okay. So now I need to switch what the special is. Oh, it is still a northern place. That is true. This wasn't a closer, was it? No, okay. Phone's ringing right when I asked that, of course. I like the beginning of the song. I wish it had more of this to it, but... oh, wells. But yeah, you're right. It is still pretty far north. But I do love the idea about cold volcanoes where it's so cold. Because you know how when something's really cold, it burns you? Yeah, that's what we're going to do. I can't believe the siren actually believed he was afraid of water. He is on a boat! He is on a boat. It's closer. It's closer. It's Grimmy. It's Grimmy. It's Grimmy. It's Grimmy. All right. Oh, you also get an outfit. Good, because this outfit is atrocious. Oh my gosh, this isn't much better. This is even worse, actually. Oh my gosh. All these outfits suck. Grimmy gets a medium blueberry. Oh, it's still blending. Blueberry. Flags. Wait, was he? Here's Grimmy. Medium blueberry flags. Okay, yeah. As Alaska. And, oh, interesting. Volcanoes. Volcanoes are interesting, don't you think? But I still like the idea of cold volcanoes. Because Magic World, why not? Ice Dragon likes to live there. Or something, I don't know. I need to refine my dragon lore. Because, like, dragons are super fucking dope. But I need to refine the lore. Okay. Crip. And then the new sauce. No, don't quit. Oh my goodness. Let's cut the charade. You are no wife of mine. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, 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 boop. And then it's coconut sprinkle green, cherry green. Wait, coconut. Wait, then what sprinkle? Oh, circle sprinkle. I really hope that's what he wants. Small mountains and hills are interesting in a lot of ways, and human mountains like the upper existed before land-based life, and there are caves in those mountains that predate life on land. If that's ooh. Ooh, I get to use a gun. Pew, pew, pew. Oh. We got this. Ta-da! Ooh, walnut floor. Maybe I'll do that next stream. World research for world building. I'll have to take notes. There we go. Oh, I love those shoes. I would wear those. I'm just a girly girl. In a not so girly world. Hi! How are you, Time Glitch? Hi, Glitch. I used your government name, Time Glitch. I don't know why I did that. Things are going pretty good here, I think. I think we're doing good. They don't fit! I'm gonna take away this one. And then I'm gonna put this out. Yeah, that's better. So we're gonna change the special to... Oh, I need to give some people a chocolate cremio. And I'll do that after all of them are like that. And then I'll do the invitations. Yeah, it's crazy. But it's a cool name, though. Oh, I can do smalls now. She's definitely gonna get a small because that's what happens when, yep, when you get a new item, the first person always orders it. We get coffee? What the? Okay, maybe I need to pay attention. Maybe I should pay attention. Just a little bit, maybe. Just a wee bit. Well. Paying attention is for sweats. Exactly. We aren't sweating, we're vibing. We're yapping. I might need to go to the bathroom soon, though, because I just drank, like, a ginormous cup of coffee. And I am probably going to need to pee eventually. It's going to be a medium. All the specials are mediums. Blueberry and strawberry. Got it. Wait, was it blueberry first? Yeah. Oh, I messed it up. We got to do it again. You could afford to pay attention in this economy with my ADHD? No, that's... No, stop! Oh my gosh. It's trying to make me fail. There we go. That's better. Meow, 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 meow. It's way easier to do whip in real life than in this game. I'm gonna just say. I'm gonna just do that. Something shiny. Where? That works on me, though, in real life. Because I'm just a deer. I'm just a little deer. Once instead of doing this... Yep. My subscription to paying attention is very inconsistent. It doesn't always do how I need it to do. They won't let me upgrade, though. It's unfortunate. Okay, and then it's pink, blueberry, strawberry, berries. Are they both syrups? Yeah, okay. Blueberry. Strawberry. Berries. And then it's pink across the top. Okay, I'm going to take this order first because she's been waiting. You also want a berry blast. Well, I'm going to send this one off so I don't accidentally swap them. Crash into other cars. The intrusive thoughts are aggressive. They are very aggressive and they should not be. But that's why they're intrusive. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Here we go. Polite intrusive thoughts. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. They're not polite. They're rude. Whee! Get blended faster! I wish we could do this in real life, but that's not how blenders work. Because today, someone ordered a bajillion fraps. And it wouldn't have been bad. They were all the same size of frap. It wouldn't have been bad if we didn't have this one specific person on the floor who is a stickler for the rules of not doing more than one frap in a blender at a time. But they were all medium. And you can fit 2 larges in a blender at once. So if he wasn't there, I would have been able to have done them together. And it would have taken half the time to get all of those fraps done. But he was there, and I knew he was going to be judging me. And he would have made me redo it if he saw me doing that. So I had to do them one at a time, and it was super annoying, but it was whatever. It got done. Because literally, like, there's only a couple of people who actually care about that, and he's one of them, and he's technically above me. But whatever. Dear hoof. Wait, when the fuck did that happen? Stinky. Can't believe that happened. If it worked, good. I already did her order, have it ready for her. So I can just take her order now. I didn't even notice. I'm just so in the zone for making the drinks. I must give her the complete wrong thing. Wow. Chocolate. 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 I don't know what the fuck this is. It's a sprinkle. Sprinkles. Sprinkles. I like sprinkles. Sometimes. I like sugar sprinkles. I don't like chunky sprinkles. Yeah. It's a texture thing, I think. They don't really have any taste. They're just food coloring. I'm dying on air. I just randomly choke on air sometimes. Eurylochus... If Eurylochus had died in the Cyclops cave instead of Polites, they would have been home already. They would have already been home because the wind bag would not have gotten open and they would have been home. Everyone would be alive and it's all Eurylochus' fault. Sure, did Odysseus shout his name to the Cyclops? Yes. However, if they had just listened to their captain, listened to their king, and not opened the wind bag, they would have been home. So it's their fault. Not Odysseus. Odysseus did everything he could. Okay, that's much too high. Trying to get the star is tough in this game. Eurylochus is a dumbass, and it's all his fault that everyone is dead. And Zeus shouldn't have... Fuck, why can't I get this one? He shouldn't... Zeus have... I've only killed Eurylochus, but, you know, whatever. Whatevs. No! Well, it's a good time to go to the bathroom, because I do need to go to the bathroom. We'll be back. Ah, fuck! Why do you have to teleport right there? Stop teleporting, let me hit you, bitch! Oh, I fell. Oh, there's 2 of them now! That's bullshit! How do I get out of here? Ah!
Alright guys, I know you can do this. You can remember anything if you just try hard enough. Come on, this way. We got this. Oh shit, not that way. I'm back at the beginning, even though I won. But that's okay. That means I get to do it again with all my favorite guys. Look at how much fun we're having. Fuck, I fell. Oh well, it's okay.
Sylvia, that is the greatest thing. Oh my god. Please continue.
It's where everyone without something ends up.
Gotta catch them all. I wanna be the very best.
Could you give us a ride there?
No one ever was. Bam, bam, bam. To catch them all.
This is a
my
riding
true
school,
test.
not a taxi service. However,
How
if
dare
you
you.
take my test, you could get there yourself.
Wow. We're back. We're back. We're back. Welcome back. Okay. Back to... Oh, the music! I paused the music. I was like, it's quiet. There we go. Yay. The clips do lag sometimes. Oh, but that specific clip of Pummel Party was when I was house sitting in Hawaii and had Hawaii internet. It was bad. It was bad. Everything was lagging all the time. It was bad. So the clip itself is not lagging, but I was lagging. Yeah. That's what happened. Whee! But it's such a great clip, I don't want to get rid of it. Because, like, the audio is the funny part. Because it's during my Friendship is Magic redeem. I can't get rid of it, even though it's so laggy. Whee! Hot take. Odysseus was right in choosing the crew because not only mutiny was not only against their captain, but against their king. So it was treason. And what do you do to people who commit treason? You execute them. So he was valid. Valid. She brings me a special. Yes. Queen. I like her hair. She looks adorbs. Absolutely adorable. I love her. One's gotta die today, and you have got the final say. Divine right of kings of Poggies. It's Odysseus. I fucking love his story. Gotta get back to my wife. Can't cheat on my wife. Hamilton could never. And I say that because it's another really popular musical and TikTok talks about it. Hamilton wasn't even gone from his wife a week before he cheated on her. Meanwhile, Odysseus, 20 fucking years. I fucking love them. Not only is he a boss, but she's a girl boss. She had those men waiting for 20 years as well. It was just that fucking one servant. That one servant who outed her for taking apart the tapestry. Like, seriously, it must not have been her servant. It must have been one of the servants of the guys. Because there's no way that you out your own master as a servant. You don't. That's not what you do. So it had to be one of the guy's servants or something. Or maybe she was fucking them, or I don't know. But she was still very smart because Odysseus, the OG, the beast that he is, had this really long bow that was really hard to string. And so she's like, well, whoever can string his bow, and then shoot it through the handle of 12 axes. They had little holes. And this was something that he could do. And so that was very cool. You see, if any of those men had simply talked to their mothers about their hobbies, they would have known how long it takes to do that. To make one of those. But that just shows that none of them gave a fuck. You want to know who would have known? Odysseus. I bet you he's like, ooh, what you make? And like knows all about his wife's hobbies. Because he loves her. He would know. Odysseus would know. Yep. Delicious. I like my drinks. My drinks make me happy. Whee! Whee! Odysseus would know. It's presumably more important as a burial shroud. Oh, yeah. Would have helped the suitors, exactly. So it's a good thing that they were little fools. But then Odysseus was a beast, and so just trying to like string his bow was like a lot of the men couldn't even like string his bow. I think that's how the story goes. I don't even think anyone could string it. And even if they did, they couldn't like shoot it through the whole of the 12 axes. And in the original story, not the musical one, Odysseus, when he gets back to Ithaca, he doesn't immediately go back to his castle because he knows that the men are there and that the men would kill him because they want to be the king. And so he waits outside and he's making a plan. And that's when Athena goes to him and he's like, you're being clever. I want to help you. So she disguises him as an old man and he like sneaks into the castle to pretend like he's also going to try for Penelope. And because of the standards of the Greeks at that time, hospitality was a huge thing because you never knew if someone was actually a god in disguise. And so unless someone broke the rules of hospitality, you had to be, kind to them. I think some people strung the bow, but no one could also string the bow and shoot through the 12 axes. And so all these men, they're like arguing and fighting and they're trying to string this bow and all that. And then Odysseus, disguised as an old man, is able to string the bow, but they're like, oh, well, there's no way he can shoot through it. And then he shoots through it. And then as he shoots through it is when his disguise is broken. And then he has a weapon. And he's already hidden all the other weapons, obviously, because he's a smart king. And then he starts shooting and killing them. It was then. It was 12 axes. It was the handle of 12 axes that were like in a row. But like you have it just a little bit off and you're not going to be able to do it. Wait, I think I did that wrong. I think I did this wrong. I see it now. Oh, I did. It's fine. Thank goodness. That could have been bad. Okay. Wait, where do I go from here? Ugh, I messed up. I messed up. Okie dokie. We got these. Oh, you said no one could shoot through 2 axes. Yeah, that's how. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, it was. They had to shoot through 12, but no one could shoot through more than 2. But yeah. But in the musical, they just like everyone is like arguing about it, and then you're gonna hear it soon enough. But Odysseus just happens, like at the right time, like he gets there when they're plotting, and then he just starts killing them. But I think the other way is much cooler, where he was disguised as an old man and it's just like, heh, you fuckers. Like, he first of all shows them that he can still do it. And then second of all, he has a weapon and they're all unarmed and then they're fucked. So that way was pretty cool, I think. Also, in the original myth, Athena didn't have to fight to help Odysseus get away from Calypso. Now, Zeus couldn't just free him outright because his brother Poseidon was pissed at him. But they're like, we'll just send Hermes because he can travel. He's like messenger or whatever. He can go anywhere. And so that's what they did. She didn't have to fight for him. There was no competition thing needed. But the myths can be interpreted differently. You know, they get rewritten and it was all, there was no like set way for it, but like in the original, like the more well-known version of it, I should say. But like you can change things up here and there. It's fine. Yeah, Odysseus does beat up Poseidon in the musical. I don't actually know the original well-known version of that. I would need to look it up. Because that part I'm like, that doesn't quite feel right, but maybe. Maybe. I'd have to look into that. It's been a while. It's been a while. I started doing some research on it again once the musical started coming out, but I hadn't gotten to that part yet. Because certain things stand out to you more than others that you're just like, oh, I really like this because of this. You know? Okay. There we go. That was scary. I did not want that to get overblended. I would have to re-look it up. We could have a whole stream about it. We could have a whole stream analyzing the Odyssey of Odysseus. That'd be fun. Yeah, mythology stream. We could do like mythology Mondays or something. That'd be fun. I don't know who your friend is. Your father. Mihi. You remind her of your father. It's kind of funny. In mythology, Endless. Exactly. POV, you find a streamer that is playing Papa's Pizza. The next time you go to the stream, they're going in depth about freaking mythology. And you're just like, huh? You thought this was a no thought stream? No. ADHD has multiple interests. And also autism. I do like this song. This is one of the not as popular songs, I think, in the community, but it's one of my favorite ones. Headband, I hate it. Wee. It's fun. It's fun. We're vibing. It's fun. I want to do a VR stream sometime, but I think that would take planning because I would need to make sure that I had friends who would be modding the whole time. Small strawberry banana. Oh, it's still blending? Wait, is it... Small strawberry banana, medium. Okay, we're good. Hooves? Oh, wait, no, that's from a while ago. That's from 22 minutes ago. I thought I saw a new redeem come through. I'm just going crazy. I'm going insane. I'm going insane. I thought it already happened, but apparently I'm still going through it. Meow. She's my wife. All right, we got this. I need to drink some more water. I've been also slightly getting over like a sickness, but also I haven't been resting as I should be because work. I need to work to pay bills. You know, I have to do that and all that jazz. Oh, that's cute. Girl, why the fuck were you ever wearing this? This is... Girl. Slay. All right, blue whip, red and green sprinkles. Oh. And then, where did he go? Where did they go? What? Is this Calypso? Yes. There they are. Okay, cookies and cherries. I hope that's what you want, because that's what you're getting. I didn't get a sticker for that. Is it only for some of the closers, not all of them? Oh shit. He likes it chunky. That much I do know. He always gets a large. Wait, that doesn't seem like theirs. Okay. So he does... Okay. So, oh shit, they're doing different people. Okay. I got this. She will get that one. No. I was hoping that they would change their facial expression. I got it. I did it. Okay, he gets this. She... Fuck, I just did him. What did he get? Damn. Let's make this the special. What is the holiday? That's not what I meant to do. Portellini Fest. Is it still Portellini Fest? Oh my goodness. I feel like he's gonna get a medium. A large. Of course he's getting a large. Lumberjacks need extra energy. Of course! Yay! Yay! I wish we got more of Aphrodite. Her voice is really nice in the Epic the Musical. Fuck, I don't know what's on this. Cake? Ew. Cake and moon. There we go. Love the idea of a super masculine lumberjack guy at the yard with one of these surrounded by his confused coworkers. This is just, he's just getting... Oh! He wanted it chunky. Shit. He wanted it chunky! Whee! I have to speed run this one. Okay. God, why do you have to go and mess me up? Make it chunky. Never once has he cheated on his wife. Poor Hera, getting cheated on constantly. She does. But the only reason why she's the Queen of Gods is because she's married to him, I think. Because, you know, he rules the sky, I guess. Or whatever. Okay, what are the toppings? Blue, sprinkles, colorful sprinkles, coconuts. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. Half the sky is into the divorce. Yes. She deserves it, honestly. Queen. And then what does it get on the top? Yay! Everything's going off at once. Oh my god. Okay, that's better. Save? You've imprisoned him, woman. Calypso is the Lulu. Fun fact, she controls who comes and leaves at her island, you know, except for the male god. Male's here. So he was only stuck there because of her. Gosh, she's such a classic manipulator narcissist. In the song. Like, listen. Sylvie, you shouldn't bow by gods like that. Yeah, well, supposedly they all lived on a very climbable mountain and no one dared to check if the gods were actually there or not. Silly, goofy guys. 100... Girl, you could allow people to go to your island or not. She's the one who kept them out. Yeah, she's trying to get all this sympathy. Yep. Whee! Gatekeeping, gaslight, that's what she's doing it. But she's not girl bossing, she's just gatekeeping and gaslighting. Not a girl boss. She knew he had a wife from the beginning. So. She does not have the right to be angry. Stockholm Syndrome. And then she magically created a kid that was the same age as, like, Telemachus when he left to try to, like, make him like her. There was 2 kids. But one of them she made that way. She's trying to make Odysseus want to stay. And, like, I don't know. She's fucking weird as shit. Because he already has a wife. He's not gonna love you. Oh, fuck. It's this one. Okay. Oh, I have to hit all of them? Oh, wait, no, I won. Okay, never mind. I did it. Thank goodness. I need 21. Okay. I'm already failing. I'm already failing. Ah! Oh my gosh. I hit 19. I just needed 3 more. That one's hard. I don't know what that sound was that I made. Okay, I got 22. Sweet. Maple mornings. Okay, trying to change her clothes. My friend. Okay, that's a cute shirt. I don't love that hoodie. Ah, look at that. That's cute. Okay. I don't think she's gonna wear that. I'm gonna reserve that for dark. Gonna try to put her in a slightly different outfit because they're different people. No hat. Okay, that lowers it. Give her that. Okay, how can I make it better? Why does that lower it? It has the tag. Where am I losing points? The shirt? Is it the shirt? Because you can't even see the shirt. They still look different. Remove everything. Oh, I should change the wallpaper. I don't have one. Shop. Try. It wasn't even his fault. Maple. This one. That's better. That's better. All right, we're gonna try to. No, you are not going there. You can go up against the wall. My goodness. Okay, that kind of matches. Gotta try to stay on brand with this. As much as I can. Oh, that's it? That's all I have? Okay, flowers, I guess. I guess that one kind of matches. Add some more flowers, add a light. Let's put the light over here because I feel like it would fit. And then that would fit. Anything else? Nope, nothing else fits. Okay, good. That means I've done my duty. All right, we're still doing calypsos because we don't have enough. We don't have enough stars yet. All right. 20%. Oh my goodness. All right, hidden. Hidden. Yeah. Okay. Those gotta wait. Kingsley. I'm not gonna remember that. You want me to buy 8 posters from the shop? Sure. All right, let's add that to our cafe. I don't know where that fit in, but it fit. All right, let's grab some more posters. I don't know what the next poster is. Is it going in the order? No, because the last one was the Fellini. And now it's Maple Morning, so it's probably going to be the Thanksgiving one next, so I'll get that stuff. And then I'll do the Christmas. Okay, I got it. Okay, that's enough. I wonder if I can actually fit any more in here. There we go. I fit them all. Nice. Multiple holiday posters. Yeah, we're gonna get all of them. All of them. I want to buy one of each before we buy any duplicates or anything like that. So that's what I'm doing for now. Have one of each thing. I wonder... I still have money, so... One of each. One of each thing. Alright, let's redo the shop. Or store. Look at that! Now I can do the stars. And I'll do gum. Because everyone loves gums in comics, right? This kind of matches. And then... Okay, it doesn't fit. Okay, perfect. Okay, good. I think I should probably wait on the next one. The Principal Skinner mean? What did I say? I don't know what I did. Oh, comics and... Yeah. Alright, they do look a little different, even though... Wait, why am I wearing the hoodie? I don't want to wear the hoodie. I want them to look different. Okay, good. We got this. I immediately forget everything I do. He's just casually carrying around a giant maple syrup thing. Oh, he wants a large? Of course you do. Sylvia versus Cooler. This is Sylvia versus Dark Sylvia. Wait, which one's cooler? This one? This one? This one? This one? They're both me. One's Sylvia and one's Dark Sylvia. They're both technically me. I'm cool. You want to know? Well, you want to know what's really cool? Y'all are about to get ads. I'm just kidding. That's not cool. That sucks. But you are about to get ads. I just got the warning for it. One has shades. Ah, I see. I see. Mm-hmm. Can't believe they want cake. Y'all got about 20 seconds before you get hit with the ads. Cooler Sylvia would never give you ads, except she would. She would, though. Because she doesn't have a choice. You can't turn them off. It's just how it is. I saw a really cool animatic that was like he used the windbag to like propel himself out of the water, and he used that as kind of like a jetpack. So that was pretty neat. Oh, they have a special. And that's how he survived Poseidon, jetpack style. Here come the ads. I'll see you guys in a minute.
I'm going into ads. Don't forget me.
Don't forget you. Already forgotten. I've already forgotten. I'm just kidding. I love you guys. I could never forget about you. Whee! Oh wait, that's almost done blending. I don't want that to like go off while I'm taking the order because it's so annoying and nerve-wracking when that happens. I like this part in the song where Odysseus takes the trident, though, and then stabs him. And then the reason why the scream sounds so music-like is because it's music to Odysseus's ears. Hee hee. Welcome back. It says you guys are back, so you should be back. Hopefully, I hope you're back. Otherwise, the ad thingy's lying. Wing! Get blended, drink. Get blended. She looks so much better now. I don't know. I guess I just don't like helmets. Whee! Strawberry and red velvet? I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Chocolate! Chocolate! Yay! I wish I could turn the ads off because, like, I just want to vibe with you guys. Ow! That's so rude. You gotta bonk me just like you bonked me in real life and give me a bruise. How dare. The audacity. The audacity. Don't make me make Budling bully you. I'll do it. I'll make her bully you. I'll do it. You'll get bullied by AI. We're all slowly training the AI to bully Deltora, and eventually all AI in the world will bully him. And you won't be able to escape. Deltora will try to program an AI to be like, be my friend, and it'll be like, haha, with you? Stinky. That's what's gonna happen. Illegal. We're gonna do it. We're gonna be able to do it. Penelope. That every night I admit all the work I've done. Wait, where's the... Oh, there it is. Whee! Buying you time. Wait, what's illegal? Training all the AI to bully him? Ask Budling what they think of Deltora. Do it. I dare you. I dare you. Do it. Ask Budling what they think of Deltora. Deltora is the only person they bully. They're nice to everyone but Deltora. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Just give Budling a moment to wake up. They got their eyes closed. They're sleeping. They eepy. They're just a little guy. They're just a little guy. They eepy. They gotta wake up. Wake up, Budley. They see, they're blinking. They're blinking. They're thinking. They're thinking. They're waking up. Just give them a second. They're thinking. They're thinking. It's working. They're thinking. I can see it. I'm looking at it. They're thinking. Come on, Budley. You got this. You got this, Budling. Come on. There it goes.
Oh, Deltarakid 2, the stinky bully with a big head.
A
You
big...
really want praise? Ha ha.
That was new. I can't believe it said that you had a big head. It's never done that before. Did I already do this one? Wait, something's going wrong. Wait. Ah! Something's going wrong right here. Rude. Rude! Can't believe you squished me. Oh, ooh, this song gets a little bit... I'm gonna skip a part of the song once it comes to it, just because it's a trigger to some people. Scrunch up accordion cartoon. We'll squish again too. Rude. This is I like the way the song sounds, but it does have a sad part. There, I'd skip that part because it can be uncomfy. What did I get? Did I get anything useful? No. And now he's dead. Tee-hee, he dead. Odysseus. Oh, she wants it well blended. Finally. Now all the suitors die. Boop. And then they get this, whatever flavor moon is. No, you don't understand that this man plans for every fight. Stab. Well, with a bow, because he has a bow. You know, in a coffee shop and whatever you said to get something new and goes, oh, finally. That one, yeah. Usually we actually like the same stuff over and over again because it's easy. If you get something and like customize it like to a stupid amount, we're just like, oh my gosh. Just because, like, everyone has a headset, so if you're coming into the drive-thru, we're making the drink as soon as you start saying it. Everyone has a headset. We can all hear you. And by the way, we can hear your people in the back sometimes. So, say nice things. Well, actually, it depends on the location in the box, but at my store, we can hear you. Stinky. People at my store like me, so they would fight you, actually. Good luck with that. Yeah, it also depends on the box at the stores, like how good of a quality they are. Like at my store, it's good. But not all of them. I like how well they use like the music to like symbolize stuff. Like you immediately know just based on the sound that it's Telemachus who just stabbed this man before he's even said anything. Boop. Who gets bacon in a milkshake? This is disgusting. Bacon in a milkshake. I am judging you. I am judging. Judging you. Oh, that was a bad placement. Oh well. 89% really? Just because I accidentally put the cherry too far to the left? Fuck you. Oh, this part, Odysseus goes ham, starts killing people left and right. Yeah, kill them all. Just have a white wig and gavel. She's judging. I am judging. We do judge your orders, by the way. We do judge you, IRL. We say we don't, but we do. It was one order I got today, and I'm looking at the sticker, and I'm like, what the fuck is this bullshit? And I look over at the person who took the order, and they're just like, I don't know. I didn't even have to say anything. They're just like, we're judging you. Judging. Just mentally checked out. Yeah, I guess it does depend on the person, but sometimes you just get such a drink that you're just like, what is this? It was like ridiculous, though. I won't say what the exact drink was, but it was as if they had gotten a white chocolate mocha, added caramel, added vanilla syrup. So that's a fuck ton of syrup, by the way, just that alone. And then they added an extra shot, and then they added extra whipped cream, and then they also wanted caramel drizzle, mocha drizzle, and 2 different types of toppings. And I'm looking at this drink, and I'm like, you want a heart attack. I got it. I got it. It was disgusting. But I guess if it was like over a $14 drink, it was insane. Yeah, it was something else. I'm just like, I was judging them. Like, I like sweet things, but I looked at that and I was like, this would make me throw up. It's too much. Now, that wasn't the exact drink, but it was something equivalent to that. Because when you ask for syrup, if you're like, if you don't like want a specific amount, like some people will add like, oh, just 1 pump of this or 1 pump of that. And we're like, oh, did you just want 1 pump of this? They're like, no, give it the standard. And it was a large too. And so the standard amount of pumps for a large is 6. So it was 6 of each of those syrups. So it was disgusting. Yay, we did it. Mini game. Mini game, mini game. Bitch! She cut me off. Gotta get the coins. No, she's gonna beat me. No, she cheated. And all day, 100%, it is possible. It's just very difficult. People have done it. I do like the bird card, though. Ah, she's stealing all the coins. Accusing the AI of cheating. I'm gonna fight the AI. I'm gonna fight the AI. They're cheating. Bitch, she blocked me. Rude. Rude! No! 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 I need to stay towards the top. They cheated. They cheated. They cheated. Not my fault. They cheated. They cheated. Cheated. Anyways. I'm gonna wrap up. I'm sorry, my dudes. The caffeine doesn't last me very long. But what? But nothing. But I'm eepy. I'm just a little guy. Who should I raid? Wow, I got a lot of friends. Ah, hey! Hey! Stop that. I can't sleep yet. I still have to have dinner. I need to find a friend to raid. I got too many options, though. Let's go raid Iso. We haven't seen her in a bit. And she's just starting, so it's perfect. So, we're gonna raid Iso. We're gonna do that. Yep. Make sure you... Oh, wait, they have follower-only chat? No. I just got a warning that said they had follower subscriber only. I did not know that. I'm sorry, Iso, but I don't like reading people who have that on. I don't want you guys to feel pressured to follow in order to send the raid message. I'm sorry. My friends are... Let's see. We'll raid Honey. That's who we'll raid. We'll raid Honey. I am gonna have to raid and dip though. So we're gonna raid Honey. All right. This first one is our follower raid message, and the second one is our sub raid message. So make sure you got one of those. Copy and paste it. And if you're not in the Discord, you should join the Discord because we got awesome people, awesome information, just awesome everything in general. Yep. And it's gonna be great. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a great time. Yes. I am gonna end up raiding and then dipping for them. So, but I do want to give them some love. Spread the love with friends. All my other friends are doing collabs, and I'm just like, I feel like when you get raided during a collab, it's difficult because like you want to thank them and be like and talk with them and interact with the new person that just raided you, but then you're also trying to collab at the same. Oops, how did I get over here? That must have happened when Hooves happened. So it's difficult. But Honey's sweet. Honey's great. We love Honey. Honey is amazing. All right. Thank you guys so much for coming to the stream today. Whether you looked, chatted, or maybe you did a little bit of both. And we vibed to Epic the Musical. It was awesome. It was fun. It was great. Thank you guys so much for coming today. I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.